y'all, it's your girl, Jordan. Hi, I'm Jordan Nichols, and I'll be reviewing a stunning book by J. Cole called Tyler Johnson Was Here.
To give a summary, this book starts off showing the daily life in the hood of Martin Johnson, a cool, slightly nerdy, chill guy. He lives where police take advantage of their power and shoot their guns before they ask questions. He has a twin brother named Tyler, born just a few minutes older. Martin, a high-ability geek who's goal-focused and wants to escape the stereotype in the hood. People call him and his friends oatmeal cream pies, brown on the outside, white in the middle. Tyler, a talented musician and basketball player who seemed more troubled and unsure about his future, the dad in jail for a crime he did not commit, a mother who worked real hard to keep the family stable, raising the boys, playing both roles. Martin would occasionally write his dad letters in jail to cope, and he's ashamed. But Martin and Tyler grew up like peas in a pod. For years, squeezed together, side by side, knowing each other through and through, doing everything together. They both went to Soho High, a high school where there's at least one fight a day, unchecked bullies, drug dealers, and a principal who believes his students won't get anywhere but the next block in the hood. But one day the brothers were split, and they slowly started growing in different directions. At school, Marvin notices that Tyler is hanging out with the school's biggest drug dealer, John Tay, who occasionally even bullies Martin. One day, like a nightmare Martin never wanted to see, he sees Tyler dealing drugs with him. Closing off, secrecy causing distance, and distance causing a fear confrontation. Martin tells their best friends Gmo and Ivy, and as Tyler the next day, inviting them to John Tay's big party, Martin eventually confronts Tyler and shuts down his excuse of, "You see mom struggling, can't pay the bills, let alone send you to college. John Tay's gonna help with that, so that's all this is." Nevertheless, they end up going to the party because Marvin is sensing him and his brother are growing apart and wants to come out of love and protection. During the party, gunshots rain out and police raid the party. John Tay arrested and Tyler disappears. In the search for his missing brother, Marvin learns more about police brutality and oppression, a preferential treatment that defines racism.
Eventually, the police find Tyler, who is just going home, he says. But when Tyler pushes the cop away, Thomas Meredith shoots him 3 times. The brother Marvin tries to save had become another victim. Another example, really. Heartbroken, drowning in hatred, Marvin wonders how he could possibly go on without his other half. Inspired by the words of Frederick Douglass, who prayed for 20 years but didn't see anything happen until he got off his knees and started marching with his feet, Martin vows to find justice for Tyler and to preserve his legacy, just wanting the world to know his brother was here and he mattered.
You matter. Marvin tries to be the change he wants to see in the world, channeling his hurt and anger into productive action, planning protests and movements to make his voice heard, everyone's voice heard. Marvin hopes to show people black skin isn't dangerous and saggy jeans and hoodies don't identify thugs, that peace and equality shouldn't be hard to achieve. Martin learns life lessons on coping, making change, finding who he really is, self-love, finding love, and standing up for what's right.
The description in the story is impeccable and so beautifully written and detailed. When I think of this heart-gripping story, I think about how comfortable it makes me feel. The author has a way of expressing the feelings in the book and filling in certain memories that build a longing setting.
That makes you feel like you've known Marvin personally most of the book, like you know his life story and get everything he's talking about and the reason. This book isn't super fancy, using extremely big words and things that make you feel different from the character. I live a very blessed life, but as a girl with many sisters, when I say I felt his pain and his mom's pain, the desperate hope and the emptiness, the joy of their beautiful memories and the anxiousness of the upcoming verdict, I really did. It confronts all the questions and fears that normally don't get shown, like, if you have a brother and he dies, what do? Do you suddenly stop saying that you have one? Do you pretend he was just a piece of your past so you'll slowly start to forget? This book's ways of expressing things is really amazing. They state the details so fluently and smooth like a song almost. Off topic, but imagine going home. I'm just going home and you get shot 3 times. You have a whole life to live. And you just I'm just going home. And you get shot 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. This book includes a love interest, but it's not extremely focused on it. But when it was in progress, the detail was really fulfilling. Like, for example, her healing words on page 148.
When you're in a state of despair, not having someone there to have your back is ugly and awful, she said, lifting my head up with her index finger. Seriously, it's the least I could do. I stopped picking a hole in the seat. Oh yeah? Yeah, she murmurs, rolling down her window a little. And when you feel lost and alone, lying on your bed staring at your phone or scrolling through Tumblr and Twitter and trending hashtags as if it's meant to bring you peace from all the demons tugging at your head, I know that feeling. We're in this together now, I guess, in some messed up way we always have been, even when I didn't know you. And his description of her on page 150. This girl has a heart like a forest, so vast and beautiful, and the twinkle in her eyes captures it. But there's so much more to her than just flesh and bone and beauty. I stay quiet, letting her words spill over me like water washing me clean. Her words actually doing something, like supplying hope. The human heart is like a sponge. There's a way to squeeze out all the hurt you don't want, and somewhere in that hurting heart of yours, she says, you'll find some strength to go. Or his dad's guiding words that need no explanation. I know you're feeling anger. You're feeling hatred for the man who took Tyler away from us. But don't let that anger and hatred consume you, or that man's taking your life too. And life lessons from his mom that show his character and reflection. Yeah, I say. Mama taught me how to love my blackness and to appreciate the blackness of others. She puts a hand on my knee. Everything is so hot I have to look away because my face burns. And I'm left thinking. Sometimes people need reminding that they matter. More than they need reminding that they're alive, because sometimes being alive just isn't enough. I'm really wishing I told Tyler that he matters. When I find him, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
He didn't know. He didn't know then. He didn't know. I do want to know that when I started filming this, it was they. And now, it's not. That's all.
His dad being wrongfully imprisoned with all the unsympathetic stereotypes and assumptions against him, still able to challenge those beliefs and give complex thoughts like, who gets to be free? Is someone free when they don't have to think about the way people look at them or treat them because of the color of their skin? Is someone free when they don't have to spend time on this earth with people who have hearts made of hate? Or is someone only really free when they're no longer a part of this world? Realizing and replaying the crushing man event battling acceptance. I hear the shots replay on loop. Pop. 1. I fight for breath. Pop. 2. I'm about to black out. Pop. 3. No. This can't be real. I stare at the dark phone screen, and then my chest expands and retracts fast, my throat drying, a lump burning up in my gut. That's not him, I say through tears, the words falling out all jumbled and wet. It can't be. I want the world to swallow me up, and it sinks in, kind of like how all the sand sinks to the bottom of an hourglass. Tyler is gone. I'm just going home, my brother's last words echo in my head as I shudder, mostly out of fear and so much damn misery. I could vomit right now. My stomach folds from my racing thoughts. I'm going to be sick. Exploring deeper into the thought of freedom and what it really means. Racists like this dude always find a way to make matters worse, find ways to justify hate. We never gave them a reason to hate us, but they don't even care about that. They're so fragile and afraid of people who are different that they have to give so much hate to others just to feel big, just to feel alive. I'm sorry you had to see that, Ivy says quietly. G-Mug gives me this tight-lipped frown and glances. This story gives various opinions on many topics. I admire the vulnerability they allow each character to have, including casual crushes, high school issues, people pleasers, peer pressure, regrets, the 7 stages of grief, how to overcome hate and depression, how to have good times and how memories hold such priceless experiences. So much more is in this book, and that's why I, Jordan Nichols, 1,000% recommend this book. Tyler Johnson was here, and so was Jordan Nichols.
Took all day with my dad.
Martin. Why do I say Martin? It's Marvin. Marvin Johnson. Marvin.